Good evening, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day today so far. So, I'm out here this evening and I'm getting ready to plant some seeds. So, we are actually supposed to have rain later this week, and I wanted to go ahead and start getting some of our vining crops in. So, like our pumpkins, our watermelons, our winter squashes of various types. And so, this is whole space. When I say this whole space, these 4 rows had tomatoes in them last year, and I was going to go ahead and put vining crops down. Now, my original plan was to use cardboard for this and then to buy PVC and put an extra watering line out here like we do, like that one back there. But our neighbor actually contacted us and he said, hey, I have this water, like this drip line. I have this water line, and I also have like landscaping fabric and stuff like that. And he's like, I'm trying to clear out my garage, I'm trying to make room for stuff, and I'm just gonna throw it away. So he's like, if you want it, you can have it, because if you don't take it, I'm throwing it away. So we got it. So we were very, very grateful for that. So I got that all set up today. It's been laying out the last couple of days, and I just like took me a while to get it laid out. And then after I got it laid out, I needed to come out and like get all the water, get all of the parts where it sprays water all set up where I need them to be. And so went ahead and ran them just to check the water coverage, and it gets where I need it to be. So they're all in the right places. And then he did give us a landscaping fabric, and I don't have enough cardboard to take care of these rows back here, so I went ahead and threw it down. The water does go through the fabric. Just in case you're curious, when I put it down, my brother came out here and he's like, is the water gonna go through that? I was like, yeah. And so if you look underneath it, the water does go through, more or less. It does pool in little spots, but I think I'm going to go ahead and try and plant some of our vining crops. All right, so I'm going to try and get some Connecticut fields and some small sugar pumpkins planted. I'm going to try and do some butternut squash. I have another butternut squash over here. I might do some honey boat squashes as well as some spaghetti squashes. I want to throw in a sweet passion melon out here, and then maybe I'll try and tuck some honey nuts here and there. And I do have a lot of watermelon seeds, so I might try and put some of those out here in general. The sunlight goes kind of at an angle, and so these 2 rows right here, like this one gets the most amount of light on this strip, like this row gets the most amount of sun. So I might be better off to put some of the winter squashes on these back rows here, but I'll just kind of figure it out as I go. So we will go ahead and get planting some of these lovely things. It is the next morning. I ran out of light. Actually, it's the next evening. We had somewhere to go this morning, so I'll touch more on that later. But I wanted to show you everything that I got planted last night. So the wind is blowing these things around just a little bit, so I'll probably need to get some like landscaping staples to keep them in the ground. But I planted the spaghetti squash in this last row here, up until that flag, and then on the other side I left it blank because I don't know exactly what I want to plant at that other end. Probably another winter squash. I might throw a watermelon in there once again. I just didn't want to make any rash decisions. This entire row is honey boat squash and butternut squash. So those are winter squash, and I'm really excited for those. And the reason I planted them in the middle here, these are pumpkins, and the reason I did that is because if they grow in this middle row here, I won't have to like trample them to get in here to harvest the cantaloupes, which I planted over here. But I planted a Connecticut field pumpkin up into that point, and then the rest of those are pie pumpkins. And then over here, these are all I think it's called passion sweet cantaloupes. They're full size, and then I left that small area down there blank because I wanted to throw in some watermelons. And then I was like trying to decide, do I want to do watermelons down there, or do I just want to carry on the cantaloupes? Or so that the end of this row and the end of that last row and the first row, I left blank because I wanted to think about it before I did it. And I'm just out here again looking at it, trying to think, what do I want to do? There are quite a few zinnias popping up out here as well, and I'll probably just leave those to grow. This one's right here by emitter, so it'll do pretty well. And these are just sprayers. These are not drip line, but they work out really well. Threw some logs down to keep this from moving too much more. But I'm pretty happy that I got this all planted. I didn't water it today. I could water it this evening. I believe it's all plugged in, so I can just go ahead and run it. The watering system, I don't know if I talked about this, but it just connects to this tube here. And this adapter allows it to go on the hose. But I actually just want to tap it in because it's right here. I just want to tap it into the rest of it and put it on a separate zone because each one of these lines are zoned. Like this zone is on right now, and if I want to run a different one, I'll open the zone first and then I'll turn this off and the water can just redirect into any of those out there. But I just want to tap it in right here. I have a timer and all of that stuff that can be hooked up to, but the timer is non-conducive to this, and I just don't want to figure that out at the moment because I have other stuff I have to do. So in the meantime, I'm just going to connect them. Maybe in the future I'll get the timer set up, but I need to find a different PVC adapter to make this work. So I'll just put on I'll put like a sleeve here, and it will connect with some black hose, some black poly tubing onto the onto the PVC. So it feels really good to have that space done for the most part, and I think what I'm going to end up doing, and I just kind of sat here and thought about it a little longer, is this first row behind me. I'm just going to continue the cantaloupe the rest of the way down because every single year I always think if I planted more of it and I watered it more, I think I probably could have a better harvest, and so that's what I'm going to do. And then I think with this back one, with the spaghetti squash, I think what I'm going to try and do is I have some acorn squash and I just want to get it planted because the seeds are kind of old and I don't know how well it'll do. So, and that's why I didn't plant any last year, and I don't know if I did any the year before or not. I don't think I did. So, or I did it in 2021, but I skipped 22 and it's 23. So I want to go ahead and use up those seeds because they were kind of old when I planted them and I wasn't sure. So I want to use up those seeds, and then if I have any blank space, like if I use up all the seeds and I have more than enough room, then I'll go ahead and put in some butternut squash seeds just to kind of, fill the space in. But I think that's what I'll do. And then the watermelons, I will go ahead and throw them out here with the corn. And I have more than enough space for the corn. Like, that's plenty of space. I don't have that much seed, I do not believe, to fill it in. And I'm going to do 2 plantings of corn this year. I think I have Silver Queen, and that will go in first. And then I have I think it's called Lady Violet. It's a sweet corn, and it's like purple and white. It's really pretty, and I'm going to plant that later on, late summer or midsummer. After I pull the corn out. So whenever we harvest our corn, I'll pull it out and then replant with the Lady Violet sweet corn. But the reason I want to put the watermelons out here is because where we live, if you just plant watermelon seeds anywhere in the yard, they will grow and they will bear fruit. So I am like, it takes little to no effort to grow those. And so I want to put it in a place that doesn't have this has been amended pretty well. And so I feel like things like the winter squashes, I'd rather those had better amended soil than the watermelons because I'm very familiar with growing the watermelons. I know they need a lot of space. And so I feel totally comfortable throwing them out here, and I think they'll do pretty well. I have Charleston Grays, Black Diamonds. The Black Diamonds are going to be a new addition, so I'm going to plant those for sure this year. But I have Crimson Sweet Jubilee, Sugar Baby Icebox, and then I have one more, and I don't remember what it is. But I probably will plant the Black Diamond and the Crimson Sweet. And I may do the Charleston Gray and just go with 3 varieties instead of all of them because I want to grow so many varieties of watermelon, but I just kind of want to keep it a little bit more toned down this year with the watermelon because there is no reason to overplant, and that should be pretty fun. And as for the sunflowers, I don't know if those will end up going in or not because our chicken coop, our coop, we built a 12-foot run off it, and we knew it wasn't ideal and that we wanted a little bit more space, so we were going to build another 12-foot run off the backside. And we're starting to think that maybe we need to go ahead and build that second run, go ahead and get the supplies for that, go ahead and build the second run probably throughout the summer or fall, and we might go ahead and build off the back of it and do a 20-foot or 24-foot run off the back as well. And if that's the case, if we build a 24-foot run anytime soon, then the sunflowers would run right into it. I had a vision, didn't work out. If anything, what I could do is I could just move it further back, because the run would end up being built right on top of that. So I could actually just move it back catty-cornered to this space here, and then I don't know where the fire pit would move up, but it would end up somewhere. So anyways, enough rambling. This is very rambly. I apologize. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. If you want to stick around, click that big red subscribe button. And if you never want to miss a brand new upload, then you can click that bell icon, and always feel free to comment down below. I love hearing from you all. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.